Okay, so if I can read this thing on my phone. My name is Lana Large, and I'm also known as Lana Dell online. I don't use my last name, so some of you may see me as Lana Dell on Facebook or on Twitter. My focus is going to be on the federal level healthcare. So I'm going to make sure we have the visual aid to go with it. Okay. And the funding sources, as well as encouraging everyone rather, to fight for health care that we deserve as a human right. There's going to be some seriousness, some silliness, and I might say something that shocks you. We'll see. So, let me make sure I'm doing this correctly. I'm a Mayflower descendant. And I used to get tears in my eyes when they played the national anthem. I'm proud to be an American. Okay, no more singing. Then slowly, reality has crept in to my consciousness. And the realization that our country is not what it could and should be has been a painful awakening. Really. So sometimes I refer to myself as an embarrassed Mayflower descendant. And then I have often turned into this thing. So, all right. So let's talk about it. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. For some people. Equal justice under the law. If you have the money for the right lawyer, right? Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses. Nah, let's build a wall. No, I don't think we need open borders, okay? But we have a mess as a country. I really feel like we do, and I think a lot of you probably do too. It's not what the original intention was. We can't think that where we are now, the Mayflower passengers and even the founding fathers would look at us and say, they probably would look at us and say, what happened to you people? So anyway, in my spare time, I am an economics nerd, and that probably means I need to get a life. So I attended this Money as a Democratic Medium at Harvard Law School last month, and they talked about a lot of good stuff. One of the things I wanted to bring to your attention is that we have many rights under the Constitution. The first 10 amendments are known as the Bill of Rights, and there are others. But there's a huge problem. The problem is there's a gaping hole in that there are no economic rights. And I had never heard it put that bluntly before. So, and this information we have seen before. I attached it to Stephanie Kelton's, who wrote this book. I attached it to one of her tweets. And FDR, as has been mentioned, has been talking about this since, let's see, 1944. That's where that is, the date that was from. And I believe all of those things need to be put in place. But we're talking about healthcare. The question is, how do we pay for it? It always comes back to when we're talking to our elected officials, or we hear the talking heads on TV, everybody says, how do we pay for it? How do we pay for it? How do we pay for it? All right, so we're going to come back to that. So there are 2 federal bills. Where am I? There are 2 federal bills and 1 state bill. Now, for the record, the state bill covers pretty much everything that the 2 federal bills cover. So that is a win. We don't have to fight about, well, one covers, you know, this and that we need and the other one does not. I have had, I paid somebody that I trust to, where am I going here? I have paid somebody to look at it, and I apologize because I'm new to this thing. So yeah, those are the 2 federal bills. Now, because of the atmosphere in Washington, which has already been mentioned as well, This House bill, which is Jayapal's bill, would have to get past Kevin McCarthy, and we know that's not going to happen. Senator Sanders is the head of the committee on the Senate side, but even he will not be able to get past the layers of stuff that have to be done to get it to a floor vote. So we want to fight for it and fight for both things, but we actually feel like it's going to be easier, should I say that out loud, to get the state bill passed. I apologize. All right. So, sorry. When we get either of the bills passed and the state bill, look at this wonderful thing. I mean, wouldn't it be great if we didn't have to have all of this mess that we have? Who has I know I've done this. Who has had to try to find a surgeon at the end of the year so they've already met their deductible and their out-of-pocket expense? Spend hours on the phone. This is ridiculous. You know, who needs to do this? It's such a waste of time and energy, right? All right, I apologize. I've lost my place on my speech here. Okay. But I'm, again, talking mostly about the Fed side, just if nothing else, because of the funding piece. Now, show of hands, who understands that there is a difference between the Fed and the state funding? Some of you, okay. Now, do you know what that difference is? I know you do, because you and I sat and talked for an hour at the restaurant. So yeah, not too many of you, and we need to fix that. Where am I? Okay, so this is a copy of, it's a different cover, but I promise you it's the same information. This book, I bought 3 of them to give away as raffles. If you guys are interested, put your name in the box back there. This is a book by Bernie Sanders, economic advisor. It is not written in PhD language, although she is a PhD in economics. And it is also on Audible, for those of us who don't have time to sit and read anymore. Let's see. This is a video. This is a YouTube video. It is only about 6 minutes long. So I encourage everybody to look at the video on YouTube, buy the book if you don't win one, and also I offer, as I have done with some people here, to give a tutorial. It only takes about 5 or 10 minutes about how the Fed finance piece works. I promise you I do it gleefully. Do not hesitate to ask me about that. All right, so a little bit about the Fed funding. Here's where the shock part might come in. The federal government does not find money. Okay, nobody's fallen off their chairs yet. The federal government does not have money. Anybody? They do not have money. Okay, I haven't lost any of you yet. They spend new US dollars into existence. It is their job and the law. Article 1, Section 8 of the Constitution. So they issue the currency. That is where US dollars are born. And that doesn't include the money that you and I borrow from banks, but that's a separate conversation. Okay, so different story on the state level. The state does not issue the currency, so they have to find the money. Okay, so ultimately, you know, if it's easier to start with the state program, we want to keep pushing past that to get either one of the federal programs passed. But in the meantime, we can certainly push for the state program and get Minnesotans covered and for less money and have better outcomes. So let's do that, right? Let's see. So what can we do for next steps? Well, I brought up Eeyore because Eeyore, you know, we love him, but he gets disgusted and depressed and, oh, there's nothing we can do and we're so tired and You know, I get it. I really do. For those of us who've been fighting for stuff for a long time, right? Where's Ann? And that gentleman there, Mr. Kip Sullivan. You know, it's easy to get to a point where you say, I just don't want to do this anymore. Nothing is happening. But, you know, if you get like that, and I have, you know, take a break, do what you have to do, but get back in there. Get back in there and don't let it go. Because the more of us stand up and make noise, the better chance we're going to have to get something done. So I was reminded that, okay, where am I? Come on, you can do it. There we go. So I was reminded that Edison had, I think, 1,000 failed experiments before he has the light bulb and a couple other things that we know him for. So, you know, he didn't give up. We only know what he achieved, but we very rarely look to see all the effort and all the time that he could have said, oh, this is such a waste of time, let me go work for somebody else, whatever. He didn't do that, and so we can't do that either. And this is the last one that we want you to fight for universal single-payer health care. So please keep fighting. Thank you.